Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful sunny spring day, but we got some pretty cold weather last night. I think it got down to 19 degrees, so we got a pretty hard frost. These days the sun is popping up around 6:30 a.m. So these boxes are already heating up. You can see all the condensation that's forming. So those cold nights at this point really aren't causing any frost in these boxes. The wood chips are kind of maintaining that thermal mass, that heat, and it's keeping everything warm up until the sun comes up in the morning, and then it just starts heating up more and more, acting as a nice thermal battery. So we'll go through these boxes. I'll give you a little update as to what I'm seeing, what I'm noticing, and hopefully we'll see some more progress in the coming weeks. So this is the flower and crop box. I'm still not seeing too much out of the crops. Now I do have plenty of extra seeds, so if I do need to reseed some of these, I'm happy to do so. I am seeing one tomato. That's actually the first tomato. I just noticed that. That's the first tomato I've noticed pop through. Tomatoes do need more consistent soil temperature compared to something like cucumbers or squash. They need to be a bit warmer. So I'm kind of expecting those to lag along for a little bit. I do see the squash pushing up. I don't know if that guy is just trying to escape or what, but he's pushed up a few times and I've pushed him back under the soil. At this point, I'm just gonna let it do what it wants. But all the flowers in here, I have like some, I think that's bluegrass. What is that? That looks like a painted daisy, fescue, a few other things in there, all looking good. And then when we move over to the full flower box, as you can see, the flowers are just doing great. This setup really works for a lot of flowers that need a little bit of a cold period. So I'm really impressed with how these flowers are doing and how everything's looking in here. They're gonna be in here for another month, so just kind of imagine another month of growth and then they'll be in the ground. Plants that size at Walmart or Home Depot would run you 10 to 15 bucks. So we got all of these from seed, which is much cheaper. It's taken a lot more work, but we're gonna have great results in the end. Moving on to the milkweed. I have not seen any milkweed sprout up so far. I'm not sure if I just had a bad batch of seeds, if I didn't get enough cold period with the milkweeds or what, but we'll keep them in here. We'll keep checking in on them and hopefully we see some sprouts pretty soon. Otherwise, we can always just reuse this box next year. That's the great thing about these bins, is they're reusable year by year. The milk jug method is great for reusing once or twice, but the milk jugs really take some beatings after a couple seasons. However, these heavy duty totes can be reused every year. The peat pots can go straight into the ground. They're recyclable and they'll break down into soil and stuff like that. So my method's super simple and it's reusable every year. Moving on to the full crop box. As you can see, the squash looks great. The cucumbers look great in here. Still not seeing too much action out of the tomatoes. We have one little sprout right there, but otherwise those will lag along a little bit and hopefully we'll start seeing some more growth as things warm up here. In terms of weather, we're looking at a pretty mild week this week. However, we might drop back down to some cold temperatures next week. You never know when it's a week out. Forecasts can change, especially in a state like Wisconsin. But I think we're kind of out of the woods in terms of super cold weather, and we're just on to that more warm growing environment. So hopefully we'll see a lot more growth and action out of a lot of these plants. Give me a comment letting me know how your winter sowing projects are going, and I hope you have a great day.